Will the Dons run away with this one? Or can the Demons turn things around? 1 quarter to go.
Thank you, Craig Willis, and what a thrilling game it has been. High scoring as well, 27 goals kicked in total, and Essendon lead by 21 points with a quarter to play. 15-6, 96 the Bombers, 12-3, 75 the Demons. That is on the Robot Building Supplies scoreboard. Before Jimmy Bartell and Matthew Lloyd with expert analysis, let's get down to the boundary thanks to McGregor Portables, and here's Tom Morris.
Plenty of players struggling around the ground at the moment, cramps and tiredness, sort of fatiguing lots of players on Essendon and Melbourne's team. But Kobe Mutch, he's the main one. Kobe Mutch for Essendon. He's been out since the first quarter with a hamstring injury, meaning Essendon have had just 3 on the bench for about 3.5 quarters. Well, they will have had for about 3.5 quarters by the end of the game. The other concern for Essendon, of course, is the right hamstring of Sean McKernan. Keep an eye on that. He's had it strapped up. Melbourne, at the moment, they've got 22 fit players, but they've got their backs against the wall. Good on you, Tommy. You'd want to be good here, Lloydie and Jimmy, because the great man, Mr. Cricket, Mike Hussey, listening in from Chennai over there for the IPL, sending us a cheerio, part of the Macquarie Sports Radio Summer of Cricket commentary team. Can the Demons, well, they kick into the scoring end of the last quarter. Yep. All the scoring's been to the punt road end, hasn't it?
Well, what a superstar listening to us, Mr. Cricket, as you said. But I'll touch on the D's, Lloydie. I think for me, that quarter was about poor decision-making. They got their matchups wrong, too far off when the ball came in quickly inside defence. And the fundamentals, a lot of drop marks and fumbling. They can get their way back into it by that contest and the willingness to run and spread away from the contest. Can they do it? They keep mentioning how underdone they are and how out of shape they are. So they're going to have to dig deep. It is hot out there, but they've got to do it. And they've actually got to push the ball forward pretty hard and lock it inside their forward half. Keep putting that Essendon defence under pressure.
Yeah, I think it all starts in the midfield here for Melbourne. If Melbourne can't dominate this midfield battle in the last quarter, game over. I think Essendon looked too good on the outside. They're spread. I spoke about the Port Adelaide loss in round 1 for Melbourne. I see it very similarly. They're too quick, so unless Melbourne can be great in close, I think the Bombers should run away and win this game of football.
The Bombers look absolutely sensational in defence. And I mentioned when they all join in an attack, you see them run in a wave. They get out of their back 50. And the good thing is, when they turn it over, they're set up well.
How's this strategy? Melbourne to the punt road end of the last quarter on this member stand wing. Bailey Fritsch is starting or about as deep as he can defensively, almost on the point of the square. A good 35, well, at least 30 metres away from Zach Merritt, his direct opponent.
So if Essendon win it, they just can spit the ball straight out to Merritt. They wouldn't want to hack it forward because they'll have an extra number behind the ball with Fritsch.
Last quarter for Collins House. 20 of the 27 goals have been kicked to the punt road end, and that's the way Melbourne are going. And Brayshaw with the first clearance. They've got to come from 21 points down, the Demons. It's a high kick to the right forward pocket. Ambrose is looking for the boundary line, and he finds it. And he didn't make it look that deliberate, that it was paid deliberate, although it was deliberate, if you know what I mean.
So, Beaver, he loves having an extra man in defence, Goodwin. It's been taken away from him, but Fritsch, as soon as he could, he sprinted straight back to have a 7-man defence for this last quarter.
Gawn gets rid of Bell Chambers legally, said the umpire. Handball to Tom McDonald. Oh, he kicks it into the head of Gawn, and it ricocheted back about 15 metres off the ball bounce. Stacks on the mill. Ball tried. Well, I think both sets of fans, because the ball was trapped between a couple of players, and eventually the umpire, David Harris, says, give it to me, I'll throw it up. 55 out from the Melbourne goal.
And he does toss it. Bombers getting players around it, but Jones has got it for Melbourne. Kicks to the top of the square. Wiedemann bumped out of it. Not a chance at getting the mark. Little try and shake and bake work from the player down there in Lockhart, but he couldn't get away, and Merritt wrapped him up and ball up. He did well, Lockhart. He kind of did well. He just couldn't get away. How old is he?
Mature age, 23.
Yeah. Ball knocked down towards Oliver. Couldn't get away. Gawn kick smothered. Ricochets back towards Colajasny. Guelphy got there first. Gets through traffic from a back pocket. Kicks it towards half back. Great grab, Jetta. He really had the rise, and he clutched it nicely, and he'll send Melbourne back inside 50.
And Jetta goes with a low searching ball to the left forward pocket. No mark taken. Wiedemann with a little fumble. Tried to recover and give it to Colajasny. With the crumbs there was Wagner. Got a handball to Harms, whose high snap is out to the left and fades on its trajectory. A minor score. Mind you, I wasn't that mature at 23, but 12-4-76 the Demons. Chorus of here around the box. To 15-6-96. The margin is 20.
Just remind me, how old are you now? Kick towards the wing. Under it, Oscar McDonald, and Zach Clark couldn't get there. Ball comes to Hibbert. Big bump McDonald, Tip and Woody took him out, took the ball out, and he got a free kick for out on the full. So it tipped Hibbard's foot, and now McDonald, Tip and Woody told to go, and he goes all the way back to Hurley. So they want to switch here. Ridley's out in the back pocket. He goes back to get it. Open side. He's got Fantasia or Zaharakis. He goes to Fantasia. He's down the spine. Sard runs for him. That's ignored. Goes to McKenna. He's got McGrath out wide. Needs to be a good kick. He goes longer to Shield. Put it in front of him. Rolls toward the wing. Tried to knock on to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Couldn't get it to him. And we'll get a ball in just the Essendon side of the wing as Shield gets up slowly. 3 minutes gone. Final term brought to you by Collins House. 76-96. 20-point ball game. Bombers lead.
In beaver years or human years?
Yeah.
Ball spinning back into play. Shallow throw in. Gorm wins it down. Oliver was being held by Stringer. Umpire missed it. Chance for Devon Smith. He's at 60. Kicks it into the right forward pocket. Frost, did he get a push in the back by Clark? Umpire said no. He fumbled the chest mark and accidentally socketed over the line. Not on the full, thankfully, for the Demon defender. He's had some nervous moments tonight, Sam Frost. Will have a throw in the Wayne Harms pocket at the city end. 96-76. Essendon by 20 and they're deep in attack. Gawn takes front position. Double palms it down, but straight to Parrish, whose right foot snap is just missing to the right. So back to that three-quarter time margin and the quarter time margin. 21 points it is. 15-7 plays 12-4 on the Collins House scoreboard.
Way Melbourne are going, Jim. You feel they have to get the first goal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think it's all over. All over the Bombers kick the first.
Fritsch with the kick in. Runs and drives it long in the Wiedemann direction. Francis from 3 deep. Couldn't bring the mark down. He knocked it down. Lockhart got a touch. Got it inside to Gawn. He goes to Brayshaw. Takes the mark. Hands it off to the runner, Oliver. He hands it out towards Corey Wagner. Got it to Wiedemann. He sends the D's inside 50 in the mark. Taken by Kolajasny. He's going to have a shot at goal from, about 40 out. Not much of an angle. Very, very, very kickable.
Just 7 disposals, Jim.
But I was just looking for those. He's been unsighted all night. They've tried him on the wing, tried him in half back. Let's see if he can get a touch up forward.
He sneaks around a metre or two. He's going to walk in from the point of the centre square. Melbourne 12-4, Essendon 15-7. Melbourne with this kick to come. 5 minutes gone. Final term. Keeps it low and drills it. Beautiful kick of goal that was. And the Demons creep closer. And Beaver could get the draw that he was talking about pre-game. 5 minutes gone. Here's Lloydie and Jimmy.
Good ball movement. They had to kick that goal, and it was they had a stoppage in their forward line, the Bombers, but they were able to work it out. And good finish. Love Wiedemann's foot skills again. Inside forward 50. Really makes an error, Sam Wiedemann.
Yeah, he looks at a good centre forward, not the full forward, because I think he can be that last kick inside 50 really well. As you said, he makes smart decisions with ball in hand, say 50 to 60 metres out. But Max Gawn's kick, just a little one off the line in the corridor, opens up the whole game. It brings the runners in from behind. Oliver's able to join in. That's that overlapping play. Just a slight kick on the angle of the 45.
Well, these two haven't played a draw for several decades. It was a pretty important match, in fact, the last time they played a draw.
And?
It was the 1948 Grand Final.
Nice work, Beef.
So they're due, aren't they? It's 71 years ago from the restart.
We'll be back here for the replay.
Set forward. Parrish has got it at centre forward. Kicks towards the forward pocket. Free kick, is it? McKernan, he was being held. Says umpire Harris. Frost doesn't like the call, but he's not going to change his mind. Was there much in it on the Yarra Valley Toyota replay?
I didn't see anything at all in it on the replay I saw.
What's he picking for? A holding back at the start when
McKernan had Frost jumper though.
McKernan kicking for his fourth. 20 out, 60-degree angle. Another high kick. Goal! He's had a big night, Sean McKernan. And that margin back to 21 points. The Bombers, if you're listening, big tone. First to a century usually wins. 16-7, 103. Melbourne 13-4, 82. Collins House scoreboard. McKernan has 4.
The free kick. The umpire's now just looking any time you put your arms around. It happened when he just first went to push off and come at the footy. You see probably 90% of those let go though, Lloydie, but there must be a focus on it tonight.
clearances tonight, 38-29 in favour of Essendon. So they've done a good job, and Melbourne worked hard to get that Kolajasny goal, but straight away Essendon win a clearance and put pressure on this Melbourne backline who's really struggled tonight.
And this margin's blown out. Maybe they've forgotten about the spare behind the ball now, the Demons. Sorry, Beef.
Just equalled his career best, Sean McKernan. Third time he's kicked 4 in a match.
Nice work, McGrath. Gave to Orazio. Bursts clear of the middle, drives it long. Jetta gets back. He waited for the bounce. Gee, that was lucky.
Risky.
He waited for the bounce, and instead of scooting through, it sat up on its end, then he tapped it through from 1 metre out. So behind, 8 minutes gone. Final term, 104-82. Essendon still lead. Melbourne still with a spot of bowler.
Jetta wanders out of the defensive goal square towards the left back pocket, then roosts it long and high. No mark taken off hands, mainly the hands of Zach Clark, and it rolls out of bounds. Devon Smith's going to do his good deed for the night and pick it up from the gutter, throw it back NRL style to the boundary umpire, who'll piff it in 55 around from the Essendon goal. 22 points is the Bomber lead, and we're 8.5 minutes into the final quarter. Zach Clark out, points gone. To no one in particular, though. Oliver grabs it. Quick handball to Brayshaw. Kicks on the left boot, and it bounces over the head of Zaharakis. Gets to Wiedemann. He handballed towards Lockhart, who was too busy trying to bump Francis. In fact, he got Francis Good, who's got a bit of a corky, and it might even be a bit more than a corky. In fact, there might be a bit of cramp. A free kick's picked out to Zaharakis, and Francis, he looks as if he's in a bit of trouble. In fact, he's going to have to come straight from the ground.
Yeah, Tom Morris shortly, long towards half forward. Big players go up. Bill Chambers got hands on it. No one can mark it. Comes to the back, and we'll get a ball up. 50 from Essendon's goal. Tom Morris downstairs.
Yeah, I think it's probably just cramp, although he's feeling for his right hamstring now, Aaron Francis. I'll keep an eye on it for you. He's with the physio and the doctor.
Nice work. That was for McGregor. Portables. Brayshaw got it up to Hibbert. He kicks around the body in the Belgium direction. Went down with the toe. Knocked it down towards Oliver. He spirals one towards half forward. Bouncing ball in front of Tom McDonald, and it rolls out of play, and we'll get a ball in.
And that lack of a rotation, the
really?
replacement from Hurley staggered back onto the ground. He is spent, completely spent.
And he's done a great job on Melsham tonight, Michael Hurley. Just the 7 disposals for Melsham. He's beaten him in so many one-on-ones.
He almost wandered back onto the ground reluctantly, and you never use the word reluctant with Michael Hurley on a footy field. Max Gawn double fists it towards or inside forward 50. Demons try and keep it alive, but McGrath's got it. It was Petrarca who tried to force it out into space. McGrath with a high ball back to centre wing. Gawn crashes the pack. Essendon are out the back. Merritt with a handball to Shield. Kicks to a one-on-one. Big hug between Oscar McDonald and Zach Clark. And the ball eludes both of them and runs over the boundary line. 48 around from the Essendon goal. Tom Morris again on the boundary for McGregor Portables.
They are out on their feet here, Beaver. Sean McKernan come to the bench, and Aaron Francis is down in the rooms with that hamstring problem.
Thanks, Tom. Back into play. 2 ruckmen tie up. And they found a free kick, and it's going to go to Gawn.
Hey, so Tom, do you think it's more than cramp here with Aaron Francis?
Yeah, given he's gone down to the rooms, I think that's the fear.
Okay, Fritsch, half-back flank, pumps it towards Brayshaw on the wing. Up flies Guelphy, knocked it down, took it out, and we'll get a ball in on the wing. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. McDonald, Tip and Woody getting ready to come back on. 11 gone. Collins House scoreboard. Final term. Game on a nice edge here. Bombers lead. Have a handy lead. But still plenty of time for the Demons to kick 4 and steal it. So Harm's got to kick away. Devon Smith couldn't trap it. Ball comes out to Lockhart. Got it to Petrarca. Got it to Brayshaw. Got it inside 50. Almost the mark. Not paid. McKenna had a piece of it. Kolajasny at the back. Gave it to Hunt. Goal. And Melbourne's still alive. Hunt's got 3. Gawn comes off for a spell. Wiedemann will go into the ruck. And boy, we've got an interesting 12 minutes coming up for you. In fact, 13 minutes and 40 to be exact. 16-8, plays 14-4. Essendon still lead.
And you just think of what happened last week with Hawthorn and Bulldogs. Hawthorn went 2 men down on the bench, Shield and also Sean Burgoyne. It's amazing how quickly the game can change. And as Tom just said, they're absolutely spent down there. Stringer went to come off and then had to go back on. Hurley tried to come off. He had to go back on. So it's a lot of weary bodies that can, the momentum can swing very quickly. So 16 points, not all in it. with still 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, we're only a third of the way through the quarter. 13 minutes 40 to be precise of playing time remaining. And the margin, just 16 points. Big centre clearance here. Clark wins the tap to Shield, immediately tackled by Harms. Ball spilt free. Nathan Jones in off the wing, grabs it. He half threw it to Brayshaw but got away with it. Brayshaw missed his foot but went again. Trickled the ball forward for the second time, but McKenna grabbed it. He kicked it towards Clark, who got ironed out with a fair hip and shoulder by Fridge. The ball and the space opens up for Melbourne. Brayshaw with a handball to Harms, handball to Viney, low ball towards full forward, misdirected. Saad dropped the mark, it might have been touched anyway. McGrath with a quick handball. Ridley with the kick outside, defensive 50. McDonald, Tip and Woody with the contest, and the ball is over the boundary line. 55 around from the Melbourne goal, and again this has gone up a notch. 16 points the Essendon lead, but they are clinging to it at the moment, 13 minutes into the final term.
Brayshaw 32 disposals, Oliver 27, the next best Viney with 19. So again, Brayshaw, Oliver carrying the Ds.
Harms kicks around the body, gets it inside 50, high ball. Big fist come. Ball not down in the McGrath direction. He's got it, but he had it slapped to him by Hunt. Got it to Zaharakis. Kicks it outside 50. Getting there first, Wagner. He pokes it back inside 50. Hunt goes chest mark. Ball knocked away from him. Comes back to Wagner. McDonald, Tip and Woody. He picked their pocket. He goes through traffic. He ducked his head. No free. Shield ducks his head. And he gets a free. And the D's fans... Well, there's no need for me to tell you. I'm sure you can hear that at home. 14 gone, final term, 104 to 88. And I reckon McKenna's cramping a bit too. They're going down left, right and centre, and Shields got it on a half-back flank.
He's in no hurry to move it on. Eventually a long kick down the line. Fritsch got a big piece of it, couldn't complete the mark. Ball spills to Guelphy. Got a handball to Merritt, made it his problem. Gave it back to Guelphy, said, here, you have it. Kicks it down the line, and Hibbert, the ex-bomber, takes the mark in front of Bagley. Just defensive side of centre wing. Shaped to kick it inboard and then ran off and gained another 5 or 6 metres. Oh, that's got to be high. That's got to be high against Guelphy. Free kick to Little Lockhart. Just forward to centre wing. It's still a pretty open forward line. No. Terrible kick. And easily read and intercepted by Saad, who handballed to the stationary. Zach Clark, who put McDonald, Tip and Woody under all sorts of pressure. He was tackled. He should be penalised. And the umpire says, no, I'm going to throw it up. Melbourne fans on their feet. And the volume goes up another notch.
Why would you give it to Zach Clark, honestly?
He wanted it back. The ruckman just didn't get the 1-2 gag.
Wiedemann takes it out of the air, kicks the half forward. Bouncing ball, gets its way inside 50. Guelphy knocked it down. Stolen by Petrarca. Turns inside, kick half smothered. Saad gets back, 30 from his defensive goal. Little Topo McKenna couldn't get it away. McGrath got it. Gave the handball up to Ridley. He floats one outside 50. Jetta went one-handed. He could have gone two. Great tackle though by Salem. Run down tackle on Parrish. That's ball. Demons come up with it, and Brayshaw's got it, although it's coming back to Salem, not allowed to play onto advantage, and he's got it on the wing beef.
Gee, Salem saved Neville Jetta there.
Inside 50s, 10-4 Melbourne's way.
Oh, terrible kick by Salem. And McDonald, Tip and Woody almost pickpocketed Brayshaw. Bombers are out through Parrish. Who's he got ahead of him? It looks like Stringer. He kicks in his favour. It sits up on its end. Frost got against the footy. It should have been ball. Umpire said no. Grabbed by Oscar McDonald. They put the whistle away. He kicks it long down towards Nathan Jones, who takes the mark in front of the umpire's race. And the umpires better get off the ground quick tonight as well.
Oh, what about the panic from that up there?
Turn left at Brunton Avenue. Forget the P-turn.
Oh, what did Tom Morris say? They're wearing lemon earlier on.
Oh, dear.
Ball comes to Hurley. He's on a half-back flank. Floats one to the wing. Down there was Colin Jasny. Couldn't mark it. Got bumped. Hibbert's got it. Ball not down towards Wiedemann. He couldn't trap it. Getting it is Fantasia. Squeezes the kick. Stringer! Well, he deserved it earlier. And he's got it now 43 out. Directly out. And you know he's going to take 38 seconds here. You can go back as far as you like. You can bend Brown and a half it if you like, as long as you start your first step when the clock strikes 1. So he can take as much time as he likes. We're down to 12 seconds, 11 seconds, and he keeps backing back. Spins the ball in his hands. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. In he starts his walk. 1, 2, 3 steps. 7, 8, 9 steps. He's about to run to 50. Couple of trot steps. Runs to 48 and he misses. And the door's still open for the Demons. 17 gone. Final term. 105. Plays 88. And here's Bruce Evil with Essendon in front, but not convincing just yet that they'll get the 4 points.
9.5 minutes of playing time remaining. Bailey Fritsch with the kick in, ran 15, kicked at about 50. It was a low dart. It eluded everyone. Grabbed by Bell Chambers, tackled by Neil Bullen. Somehow fell to Guelphy. There's a late whistle here. Which way's it going to go? It's going to be an Essendon free kick. And while the ball comes back, we'll get down to Tom Morris with thanks to McGregor Portables.
I'm telling you, they've literally got 12 to 14 players, Essendon, that aren't cramping or injured. It's quite amazing. It's remarkable they're not just in the game, but ahead, given how down they've been on the bench.
So is McKenna, he's in front of you. Is he cramping or is he just hobbling for some other reason?
He's feeling the inside of his left groin. You've got Hurley. You've got Razio Fantasia. The list goes on. It's quite amazing.
Guelphy with the free kick. Retreats to Sard at centre-half back. Still very warm conditions here at the G, and it's just gone 10:15 on this Friday night. They keep chipping it around. Ridley back to Hurley, who's out on his feet. He's at centre-half back, and they continue to try and milk the clock as he goes sideways to Ridley. And out to the southern stand side, and he picks out Dylan Shield, who marks defensive side of centre wing.
And this is clever because it conserves a bit of energy when you own the ball. You don't have to work quite as hard. Now, Zaharakis has got it on the wing. He's playing possession footy. You can go back a little. There's a lot of time. They're not trying to take the rest of the time off the clock, but just trying to get a little bit of breath back in the system. Zaharakis pumps it up long. Now Bell Chambers is up. Ball thump clear of him. Chance for Heppel. Tried to scoot a handball out. He's on hands and knees and he threw it out. Ball comes to Fritsch. Got to kick the travel to Meter. Travelled into the face of Lockhart. Ball comes to Devon Smith. 60 out. Chips at Stringer. And that was just the required 13. He marked at 48 out and he short passes to Parrish, who marks at 47 out, but directly out. And he can take some time off the clock too. Puts the ball on the deck. Mouthguard in his sock. Countdown clock winds its way down to 15. He keeps backing back. This is a huge kick. We're about to tick into time on. Final term. Bombers led by 21 at quarter time. They trail by 7 at half time. They led by 21 at 3/4 time. Runs to 48. Drives it long and hits a post. Wow. So 20 gone. Final term, more importantly, 7.5 minutes and change left in front of 52,500 here at the G. Melbourne 14-4, 88. Essendon 16-10, 106.
He could have had a big night tonight, sorry, Beaver. He's had the 21 and 3 behinds. A couple of set shots just missed.
Yeah, and 3 posters as well for the Bombers. 1 to Parrish just then, 2 to Dylan Shield in the first half. It's 26 scores to 18. But the Demons are still close enough if they're good enough. 7.25 minutes of playing time remaining. And it is an 18-point break to the Red and Blacks. 52,475, the official attendance. From the restart, Brayshaw wobbles a kick towards centre wing. Francis kept it in front of him. Wagner, Corey tries to paddle it forward. Essendon there in numbers. Merritt out the back with a handball to Hurley. Confronted by Petrarca. So he kicks a high wobbly thing out towards centre wing. Will it bounce away from Hibbert? It will. Bagley tries to run onto it full-chested. Parrish has got it. They're out here to Zaharakis. Measures the pass to McDonald, Tip and Woody. Slapped away by Jetta though. Grabbed by Nathan Jones. McDonald, Tip and Woody's still down. Now he jumps up because the ball's spilt free from Oliver, who was tackled hard. Zaharakis has got it. Chips it out towards Bell Chambers. The legs just wouldn't fulfil the contract that the brain set him. Grabbed by McKernan. Back to Bell Chambers. Handball to McGrath. He's wearing number 1. Can he put number 1 win on the board for the Bombers? He can. He threaded the needle from 25, and I reckon Essendon are home. 24 points the margin. 17-10, 112. Melbourne 14-4, 88. Collins House scoreboard. Still 6:20 remaining.
They're the side that should be actually fatiguing, but they look like they've got more run on the game. When there's a loose ball, they're first to swoop on it. They've been tackling really well. Got the first receiver there when the ball bobbles free, and they outnumbered Melbourne there inside 50. We had a bit of a chuckle with Big Belcho on the treadmill there, but ball came back to him, and they still had numbers to go to. And McGrath running into open space. That's a class finish when everyone's under fatigue.
Great sign. 18 to 10 tackles. Bombers 18 to 8 tackles in the last quarter when they've had more of the footy. So put Melbourne out of their misery here.
So Melbourne get a warning here because Josh Wagner came on late and he runs into defence. So Melbourne told you've had your last chance. Umpire Wade 6 and 6 is set up now. Someone else has got it wrong. I reckon the Bombers, who've already had a warning, they've got it wrong, and it's going to be a free kick to Melbourne here. Surely they've got no wingman out there. They've got no wingman out there, Essendon.
They started with 17.
Yeah,
you can
actually get away with that. Yeah.
Okay, so you're allowed to start with one less on the ground, eh? 17. Hunt comes up with it, gave it out towards the running Lockhart. He's 45 out and he kicks it wide.
If he ran onto the field, it would have been a free kick.
Okay, so he was held back.
But it shouldn't have been really because he's in that middle part of the ground.
Yeah, that loads one side though.
Yeah, you can make your choice. Can you have two on the one side?
I don't think you can. So if the guy on this side was actually on the other side, he could have come on at any time.
Yeah.
Probably. 23 gone, 112 to 88. They need 4 goals in a hurry here, the Demons.
So you have to have one either side?
I think so, yeah.
Francis with the long kick in. Hibbard with the contested mark. Kicks it to full forward. Crashing the pack was Kolajasny. Shield comes through. Ball ricochets to Harms. Goal! They're still alive. James Harms gets his second. Who was saying glasses down a few moments ago. 5:39 remaining. Margin back to 18 points. 15-4-94. Essendon 17-10, 112. That's on the Collins House scoreboard. Here's Matthew Lloyd on Friday night for AFL footy.
I think the type of game this has been, and they are absolutely exhausted. This can still happen. And Beaver, you mentioned a draw. It's 18 points. 5 minutes 40 to go. So both teams are spent, but I think it comes down to clearances here. And that's what they are winning. It's the one area they are winning. 11-5 this last quarter, Melbourne. So they need one here. This big clearance here while the Bombers are spent. Bell Chambers, he'll struggle to get up for this ruck tap out. He's absolutely exhausted.
Bulldogs kicked about 5 or 6 goals in the last 5
Sunday,
didn't they?
So you're going to give the media a task. They won't know which camp to go to next week if there's a draw.
Oh.
Who's the biggest crisis? Ball up in the middle. It's going to go Essendon's way. What was that for? That free kick, Bell Chambers. He pumps it wide. Merritt's on the move. Rolling ball out in front of him. Boundary line looming. He went inside to McDonald. Woody. He takes the mark. 52 out. Behind, and they've won it, the Bombers. They lead by 3 goals even. Short pass, pocket, Parrish. And he takes the mark. And if he takes 30 seconds off the clock and scores, they are home here, Essendon.
They had an outnumber inside 50, and they did it really well. Fantasia came up closer to McDonald, Woody, and Parrish pulled back. So they made the Melbourne defender make a choice. Shep in the ruck, that free kick in the centre bounce going back against Max Gawn.
Wow.
Oh.
So Parrish, was it there?
Yeah, you can't cross the line.
Okay.
Yeah, he crossed the line and took Bell Chambers' run.
I reckon they should start tossing it in the air because when the bounce is off to one side, it's hard to tell a guy you can't run over the other side of it. And prop. Parrish in the meantime drills a ripper. Straight over the goal umpire's hat, and they come from, well, those Bombers that can run have come from wherever they can come from. The rest are too spent to even go down there and even acknowledge him. But you reckon they're just about home now for sure. 18-10, 118 to 15-4-94. It's an even 4-goal lead with an even 4.5 minutes left.
Essendon should realise they're a couple of short here. About 4 players tried to run off. So this is where you can get into trouble with the 6-6-6 if you're not on the ground quick enough. But I thought Parrish has been really good tonight. He's been that link player they've probably missed in the last couple of weeks. He's been clean. Could have had a massive night, as we said. 22 touches, 1 goal, 3.
And I see what you mean. Zarakis came charging on thinking he had to get down to the forward 50 and then realised, I think with McGrath charging down to the back 50, he could set up on this member side centre wing. Gawn wins the tap. Oliver runs onto it, loops a handball back to Gawn, gathers on the bounce and then chips it out wide to Lockhart. Will it sit for him? It does on the second bounce. A deep inside forward 50 entry. Kolajasny was taken round the neck by Guelphy. Umpire missed it as Guelphy with his other arm or hand smashed it out of bounds for a throw in 40 around from the Melbourne goal.
Essendon will know there's only about 5 minutes to go. When you said the bumblebees walking around the boundary line, you know that it's only about 5 minutes.
Yeah, are they in the stoop position to not get in the way of the patrons sitting in?
Smash some 10-year-old kid getting on the oval.
Nathan Jones from a long way out, left foot kick to full forward. Jaden Hunt. Devon Smith dropped the football.
Yep.
So this should be a goal. Melksham will take the free kick, 20 out directly in front.
Or Beaver's draw still alive if he kicks it.
Come on, Jimmy. We're down to 3:54 and counting. And Melksham directly in front, lining up for his second goal. Punt road end, stabs at the drop punt and guides it home. Back to 18 points. A rare game in modern football. Both sides top the ton. Melbourne 16-4, 100. Essendon 18-10, 118. That's on the Collins House scoreboard. And there is 3:35 of playing time remaining.
Just needed Mick Warner to take off, didn't we?
Yep. Yeah, the game's going to be in horrendous shape when he gets back from Augusta, though. We won't score again.
Whenever we talk about a big clearance needed from Melbourne, Essendon seem to win it, so they need a big, clean one. It's interesting, Melbourne's forward setup. Everyone's pushed back pretty much near the goal square, so they're opening up the space for the midfield to run into here at this centre clearance.
So 3 goals, 3.5 minutes. That's the equation just to draw scores level for the Demons. Gorm wins it down, but to Zaharakis. Gave it up, shouldn't have given the handball. Might get it back here from Shield. Caught, though, and too high. We're going to go backwards here and take some more time off the clock. Zaharakis, he goes wide to Merritt. There was space on the wing. Merritt can go backwards if he wants to. Francis is back there for him if he wants him. He pokes the pass, though, to Devon Smith. And he's holding it up and he's stretching the hamstrings. He could go backwards if he wants to, or just pump it down the line. He's shaping to pump it down the line. Close to the boundary. Up big, early leap. No mark. Brought down by Stringer, but he got up way early and hung there for a while. He's caught, and we'll get a ball up 49 from Essendon's goal. But we're inside 3 minutes now, and the margin's 3 goals Essendon's way.
And the ball's at the wrong end for the Demons. Left half forward for the Bombers. Shield tried to crash through, went without it. Zaharakis tried to pick it up. Gorn socket off the ground. Was that kicking in danger? I reckon it was. And umpire Matt Stevick agrees. And it'll be Zaharakis. It won't be Shield. Zaharakis will be the recipient. And Gorn with hands on head and now bending over is disgusted with the call. He stands the mark at about 48. And Zaharakis is saying to the umpire, I'm going to have a shot, so I'm going to take my 30 seconds.
Not many people would have picked Essendon. Did you pick Essendon?
No, I picked Melbourne. Zaharakis from 51. He loads up. It's a high drop punt which will land in the goal square. McKernan got a big piece of it. Now there's a late whistle and an Essendon free kick picked out by umpire Stevick from 45 metres away.
Stringer.
He's done that a bit tonight, Matt Stevick, hasn't he? Umpired from further away than the guy who's 3 metres away.
A blocking free. So impeding Stringer's attempt to run and take a hang, I guess. Hibbert has been pinged for blocking him off the ball.
Did Stringer run into Hibbert?
Yep.
So Stringer is going to join McDonald, Tippenwoody and McKernan as players with 4 goals to their name unless he falls over and misses from 8 metres. He doesn't. He kicks the goal. He tells Michael Hibbert all about it. And the Bombers are going to register their first win of 2019 and the Demons are going to be 0-3 and with a short turnaround in 6 days' time head to the SCG to take on the Swans. 19-10, 124 Essendon, 16-4, 100 Melbourne, Collins House scoreboard.
I'd mentioned it a bit earlier, Lloyd. He just looks like so much a different player. When I know he gets the free there, but he gets the free kick. He's trying to come up at the footy. We've seen in, I guess, parts of last year and early this year, he'd normally stay back and just hope it bobbles over the back. He just looks even more dangerous when he comes up, leaps to the footy or gets on the lead. Just a completely different player.
Only 10 disposals, Stringer, but he's had a huge impact. 4 goals, 7 tackles. He's had a great game.
The Demon fans are heading for the Isles here. 32 minutes gone. It's been a long quarter and a high-scoring game. It's 19 goals to 14. We might get another goal. Harms runs to 48 and he kicks himself a consolation prize. He's got 3 goals, Harms, but they won't be a chance to steal this, Melbourne. We've only got 1 minute 20 left. 17-4, 106. Essendon 19-10, 124. They are home, the Bombers, and the Vultures are going to start circling Melbourne headquarters, you'd reckon, this week.
Easily the highest scoring game of the year. What about game number 20 of 198, but 36 goals kicked in total.
Yeah, full credit to the Bombers with this. I think that we all thought that Melbourne, they were going poorly, but not as badly as the Bombers, because they felt like they were getting enough opportunity, Melbourne, but Essendon just looked like a team shell-shocked, really. So it's been a great return from them, and full credit to their leaders and guys like Zaharakis, Heppel, Shield, Zach Merritt from the top end, and 12 goals between McKernan, Tippenwoody and Stringer. Brilliant return.
86 seconds remaining. Essendon by 18 points from the restart. Viney forces it forward. Don't think the mark... Oh, no, the mark will be paid. I thought it was touched off the boot. Kolodjasny's got it at 52. Kicks out towards the fat side of the ground. Oh, McGrath was spoilt by his own man in Ambrose. Close to the boundary line. Hurley overran it. High left foot snap there by... Was it Melksham? It was. Crossed the face. Merritt went without it. Jaden Hunt keeps it alive. Centering ball. Brayshaw takes the mark. And he'll line up from 35 to 40 on slightly better than a 45-degree angle.
Deserves it, Brayshaw. He's 10 inside 50s, 34 disposals for Brayshaw, so he just keeps trying. He can't do much more for his team.
There's so many goals. Usually these games finish at about 20 past 10. It's almost 25 to 11, and we've still got 40 seconds of play remaining. The clock might stop after a goal here. And yes, it will, because Brayshaw slots it. He kicks his first of the night, and the margin's back to 12 points.
Could they, Beaver?
Stranger things have happened, Jimmy. There's
25 seconds.
There's 24 seconds remaining, and it's 19-10, 124 to 18-4, 112.
Commentators aren't supposed to barrack, but it would be nice for Melbourne just to get one more with about 8 seconds left on the clock.
If they kick 2 in 25 seconds, we have to hear on repeat the Beaver intro all night.
And then a 666 infringement, no warning, free kick, 50-metre penalty for verbal abuse, and a draw.
When was the last time we had this bigger score in total anyway, Beaver? Did we have many games with this bigger score, with this narrower margin? Seen some blowouts, but this is a monster scoring game. This is 19-10 to 18-4. Melbourne, can they get the clearance? Harms got it up just in time, stolen back though by Bill Chambers, and he blasted inside 50, and Orazio Fantasia might kick Essendon a 20th goal here after the siren. He's got it 45 out, 45-degree angle, seconds ticking down, siren's about to sound, and an almighty roar from Bomber fans. Been a good performance by the Bombers. They started brilliantly. They lost players. They were headed by Melbourne. It was Essendon on the ropes at half-time. In struts Fantasia, sets sail and drills it. A 20-goal night for Essendon. Scoring's back. Goals are back. Essendon's back. 20 goals, 10, 130 to Melbourne, 18-4, 112. Cowboys who play this grand old game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up, up. The other teams they don't fear. They all try their best, but they can't get near as the Bombers fly up.
Don't adjust your radios, folks. It's not 1989, it's 2019, but a good old-fashioned shootout, 130 to 112. The Bombers led by 21 at quarter time. Melbourne kicked 7-2 in the second quarter and led by 7 points at half time. The Bombers hit back with 7 goals to 2 in the third quarter to lead by 21 points and kicked 5-4 while Melbourne kicked 6-1 in the final term. Essendon by 18 points.
See the Bombers fly up, up to win the premiership flag. Our boys who play this grand old game are always striving for glory and fame. See the Bombers fly up, up. The other teams they don't fear. They all try their best, but they can't get near as the Bombers fly up.
And the Bombers Bombers are on the board in 2019. They'll be back at the MCG in 8 days' time to host the red-hot Brisbane Lions. Melbourne 0-3 and head to Sydney next Thursday night to take on the Sydney Swans. 2010 130 Essendon, 18-4 112 Melbourne in front of 52,475 fans. Here are the goal kickers, and there's plenty of them. 4 each to Jake Stringer, McDonald, Tippenwoody and Sean McKernan. 2 goals to Devon Smith, both in the third quarter, and 2 to Orazio Fantasia, who kicked his second after the final siren, and singles to McGrath, Parrish, who kicked 1 goal, 3 including a poster, Zaharakis and Bagley. For the Demons, 3 each to James Harms and Jaden Hunt. 2 each to Jake Melksham, Sam Wiedemann and Jay Lockhart, and singles to Petrarca, Brayshaw, Gawn, Kolajasny, Neil Bullen and Corey Wagner. 2010 plays 18-4. Essendon win by 2 goals, 6. They move to 1-2, while the Demons slump to 0-3. Matthew Lloyd and Jimmy Bartell post-match Friday night footy on 3AW and Macquarie Sports Radio, with thanks to McDonald's.
Run, zip, Lloydie called it. They were too fast on the outside, but importantly, not only did they match Melbourne in the contested footy, they beat them in it. They won the important ones. Lloydie, you highlighted every time Melbourne needed a big clearance or a big contest, it turned up Essendon. But for me, that run and attack and that run and gun from behind and their midfield group spreading, I think it's really good for their defence going forward. I know they gave up 18 goals here. It was a big quarter from Melbourne, a couple of easy ones, but they'll adjust as they go along. And I reckon when they gave up that big second quarter was when they sat back and let the game come at them. When they took the game on, they looked so good on both sides of the ball. Darcy Parish, I thought, could have had a massive night. Zacharakis was solid as well. But for me, Melbourne, that's the second week in a row they've given up 20 goals. Now, we keep harping on they've got an excuse, but sometimes you just got to dig in and make some smart decisions. I didn't think it was a personnel thing tonight. I felt like Melbourne made some poor decisions, some fundamentals of the game really undid them when they were in the running to win the match. So still some more soul-searching to go on for Melbourne.
Or in their defensive setup, which we touched on, is a bit of a mess, to be honest. You touched on it 20 goals last week, 20 goals. So 40 goals in 2 weeks. They don't defend a man. And so you'd love to be a forward. When you see how rare is it that you have 3 players kick 4 goals, McKernan, Tippenwoody and Stringer. But let's talk about the Bombers.
Yeah.
They have had a brutal week. They've had a brutal fortnight. And their captain spoke about how proud he is and how proud he is of his team after that. He stood up from the front. Dylan Shield, it's why he came to the club. I know he's got to use the ball better at times, but he set the team alight, I thought, in that first quarter with 12 disposals. You give Zaharakis time and space, he'll hurt you, and he hurt the Demons tonight. And Fantasia's speed and Sard and those guys did the damage as well.
Yeah, a couple of players. You mentioned Fantasia was out of touch, but it was great. McDonald, Tippenwoody, early in the game, he got himself involved, which I think helped him, hit the scoreboard really well. But I think one edit or video clip, whatever you want to call it, I think they'll show multiple times this week and throughout the year. Dyson Heppel, right near the interchange bench, got absolutely drilled, bounced back up, won the footy, got the ball going forward for the Bombers, and they kicked a goal. And I think that's what you could see the rest of his teammates. After the goal was kicked, they got around him. He had to come to the bench for a bit of time. I even saw the young players on the bench just looking at him going, geez, this guy is really showing, putting his heart on the line. So well done, Dyson Heppel. He has copped some criticism in the first couple of weeks, but he couldn't have done much more than that moment of play.
And he will be joining us in the rooms after the Bombers belt out their famous theme song. They're still out on the ground celebrating with fans, ringing the fence here at the MCG. They're just heading down the race as we speak. You can hear from the generous applause in the background. Very, very happy Essendon fans. They're actually outnumbered tonight, 52,475. It was designated Melbourne home game. And the Demons, after now having 2 matches here at their preferred MCG against Port Adelaide and Essendon, and they've lost both of them, as well as being flogged down at the Cattery last week. Let's get down to Tom Morris in the Essendon rooms as the victorious players are about to file in.
Yeah, very happy Essendon rooms down here. John Worsfold just resting, very relaxed up against the Gatorade. bottle holder, and here come the Essendon players now, and they should be very proud of themselves as well. I've actually taken notes here throughout the game. 6 players I counted were inhibited of 3 injuries of various descriptions. One of them, of course, Kobe Mutch, was out for the entire game pretty much with that hamstring injury. Another 5 were on and off the field. They were unfit, they were fatigued, but it matters little because they got the 4 points, and that's their first win of the year. Dylan Shield, I'd imagine, will be in the centre of the song along with Zach Clark. And there's plenty of Gatorade, I'll give you that much. Got to be careful not to get too wet as well. Here's the Essendon song. It's a very happy Essendon song. We're going to speak to Dyson Heppel in just a couple of moments' time.
Good on you, Tom. Tom Morris down there in the Essendon rooms. They'll be counting the cost with the injuries, but that pain will be dulled at least for tonight and tomorrow with 4 points in the bag. 20-10, 130 the Bombers to 18-4, 112. Just the last time Essendon kicked such a score, 20 goals, 10. I know they were free scoring at times last year when they got on a roll after about round 8. We'll have to check that in the record book. We are about to head back down to the rooms, and the Essendon captain, Dyson Heppel, is about to join us. In fact, he's ready to go now. A very tired but very happy Dyson Heppel standing alongside Tom Morris.
Very efficient. Dyson Heppel straight with the headset on. Pretty relieved, pretty happy. What are your emotions at the moment?
Yeah, just absolutely knackered, boys. I put plenty into that one. It's been you could say an emotionally draining couple of weeks, but I think the resolve of this playing group, the character they've shown throughout the period, we just had full faith we'll turn it around and, performed really well tonight.
Did you have any appreciation as the match wore on that you already lost a player in the first 5 minutes and you were losing players consistently as the game went on? In fact, at various times, players were coming to the bench and unable to come off because there weren't the rotations available.
Yeah, I think, obviously I looked at that early and it does worry you with the lack of rotations, and we're running on empty at stages, but I think just the smarts of the playing group, some of the senior leaders stood up and just said, look, let's just really control the tempo of this game, shift the ball off the line, really control our energy and make them work harder in defence, and I think that really played a big part.
Dyson, Jimmy Bartell here. Congratulations on a fantastic win and your own personal performance. We're praising it before how gritty you are. Now, can you take us behind the closed doors a little bit? Tough couple of weeks, getting criticism. Your role as a captain, is it getting around to each individual? Is it a couple, as you said, from the leadership group? What are you doing, from Monday to Friday?
Yeah, look, Jim, I don't think my role changes too much, mate. I'll just come in with an upbeat attitude, try and just spread good vibes around the joint, and I think try and make the boys feed off the back of that. If I'm really optimistic and a positive person, but not afraid to be real and give some honest feedback as well. So I think we were just really honest with the way we were playing, honest with each other, and we just enjoyed the couple of weeks as well. Trained hard, and eventually it's turned.
Is there something particular about the game style or a technical aspect? Do you feel like, if we won contested possession or we restricted marks, you thought it would help turn the wheel your way?
Look, I think it was probably an all-round outfit tonight. We had a clear focus on really trying to be assertive with our backs, and I thought their pressing mentality tonight was outstanding and getting some really strong kills. Also thought our centre bounce work, them probably being the number one side in the comp for centre bounce, we hung in there. They got a couple of damaging ones, but I thought we did a really good job in there too.
And Hep, what about scoreboard pressure? So you hadn't scored a goal the first quarters the previous 2 weeks, and just for McKernan to kick the first goal of the game and get you away to a 6-goal first quarter. What is not scoring? Did you feel like you went into your shells a bit the last few weeks?
Yeah, look, I guess you try not to be dictated by the scoreboard, but I think that's fair to say. We got down on ourselves when the results weren't coming our way, so probably a bit too outcome driven, and tonight it was really just focusing on the process. And look, I think Big Horse setting the tone with an early snag, and then the rest of the boys jumped on the back of it. And
great to see some players who'd been down. Tip and Moody kicked 4 goals, McKernan 4. And also I thought Dylan Shield, hasn't been down, but his first quarter really set the tone. How's it been playing with Dylan Shield, Hep?
Yeah, absolutely. I know, and it's the calibre of these players. They that we've got a number of key players rolling through there, and they're eventually going to fire. And Dill, he's brought super leadership to this club, and I'm loving playing with him.
How did you see John Worsfold during the week? Any different after a couple of poor losses?
No, I got to praise that bloke. Something chronic. He's been unbelievable. Just his calmness. He's so measured, and just come in with a really clear strategy. You can get clutching at straws at times when you lose a couple early, but he's just been so measured, full confident in our game plan, and it's paid off.
Dyson, always appreciate your time. Nothing like having a win on a Friday night. Enjoy the weekend and look forward to seeing you next weekend in a big one against the Lions.
Love your work, boys. Love me footy. Good work.
So do we. Dyson Heppel, Essendon captain, very happy, very relieved after the Bombers got over the top of the Demons by 18 points, 20-10, 130 to Melbourne, 18-4, 112. We need to take a break. On the other side of this, the votes for the 3AW Player of the Year. Matthew Lloyd, I believe, is in the chair tonight. Tough night. The mark of the day with thanks to the Drain Man, and of course the injury update will go back down to Tom Morris in the rooms with thanks to Arnold, Thomas and Becker. The Dons by 18 points on Friday Night Footy thanks to Maccas.
This is the 2019 Toyota AFL Premiership season. This quarter brought to you by Collins House. For low-cost, professionally managed portfolios, go to collinshouse.com.
You'll hear it first on breakfast. Hey, Pep, you bring news.
The next street behind me, there's been a massive factory fire. I'm currently stood here watching it, and there's still explosions happening.
With Ross and John.
Lots of fiery presence and possibly police. No, I don't know what's in that factory, but there's a lot of explosions.
3AW 693.
I'm David Armstrong. There are fears a huge blaze at a chemical storage facility at Campbellfield could spread to a 20,000-litre LPG tank nearby.
Wild krill oil, 1,000 milligrams, 60 capsules, $24.99.
Healthy Care Wild Krill Oil can assist with general wellness, cardiovascular health, and may provide temporary relief from arthritic pain without any fishy aftertaste. This week only at Chemist Warehouse, you'll find Wild Krill Oil 1,000 milligrams, 60 capsules for only $24.99. Always read the label, use only as directed. If symptoms persist, see a healthcare professional. For the biggest range at the lowest prices, shop at Chemist Warehouse and stop paying too much.
It's another day at school, but it's the last place a young girl like Jess wants to be. Why? Because it's a constant reminder she lives in poverty. Her uniform doesn't fit, her shoes are falling apart, and her backpack is a plastic bag. Right now, there are 1 in 6 Australian children living in poverty who need our support. You can help by becoming a sponsor through the Smith family. Please sponsor an Australian child today. Search the Smith family.
Treat yourself this Easter with my mum's favourite.
Choice recommended Coles traditional Aussie fruit hot cross buns. 2 packs for just $6. That's right, delicious Choice recommended hot cross buns.
Good things are happening at Coles.
Offer ends April 21st.
Shots Home Emporium's VIP sale is now on. Improve the look of your home with a generous 30% off most stock. Exclusive bathroom vanities, spectacular entrance doors, vintage leather and reclaimed timber furniture, English and French marble fireplaces, and more. Shots Home Emporium, restoring value into homes for over 40 years. VIP sale now on with 30% off thousands of lines. Clifton Hill, Geelong, Shots New Moorabbin Superstore and shots.com.au.
Home Emporium.
Conditions apply.
Oh, the Blind Factory! It's on now! The Blind Factory Great Autumn Sale, or GAS. Gas? Are you sure about that? The Blind Factory. Call 13-BLINDS and don't let gas pass you. But no, I'm not saying that.
Are you not receiving a fair go after being injured at work? Have you been in a road accident and need to make a claim? Put the ball in your court with Arnold, Thomas and Becker Lawyers. Located in the CBD, Craigieburn, Richmond and Werribee. Whether it's workers' compensation, public liability or TAC claims, Arnold, Thomas and Becker has over 50 years experience in personal injury law and are ready to begin your claim for compensation. No win, no fee. Arnold, Thomas and Becker, 1300 333 300.
Don't let the flu ruin your plans this year. Get in early and help protect yourself with the flu vaccination available at Chemist Warehouse. The vaccine may help protect against influenza. However, it can take several weeks to fully take effect. So help protect yourself and roll into Chemist Warehouse and roll up your sleeve. Our immunisation service is quick and convenient. Book your appointment online at chemistwarehouse.com.au/flu for $12.99. Chemist Warehouse, lowest prices every day.
And welcome back to the MCG on a night where Essendon has broken its 2019 duck. Melbourne remains winless. The Bombers 20-10, 130. Melbourne 18-4, 112. A good old-fashioned shootout. And Lloydie has got the tough task of picking the vote-getters on a night where we saw 38 goals kicked, 26 of them in a statistical anomaly to the punt road end.
It was tough, and I can't believe that I have to leave out Sean McKernan, who's kicked 4, Tippin Woody, who's kicked 4, Fantasia, who was very, very good as well with his speed. Saad, I thought Hurley was good, but you can't fit them all in. So I've given 1 vote to Jake Stringer, who I thought only had the 10 disposals, but 6 tackles, 4 goals, just his impact on it. Should have got another shot from a holding the ball decision as well. 2 votes I've given to Brayshaw, 34 disposals for Melbourne, 10 inside 50, 7 clearances. Couldn't have tried harder, Brayshaw. He also kicked the goal. 3 votes I've given to Dyson Heppel. To the captain's game, led from the front, 27 disposals. Plenty of tackles, clearances, 8 marks. He was enormous. 4 votes. One of the barometers for the Bombers, David Zaharakis, I've given to 4 votes, 31 disposals, 7 clearances, 5 inside 50s. And I've given 5 votes to Shield, for I thought he set the tone for the game with his run, spread, breaking of the lines, 600 metres gained. It was one of the reasons I think Melbourne lost, because of the speed of Shield, 8 inside 50s. And I thought was the player that got Essendon going pretty early. So he gets the 5 votes for us tonight, Beaver.
Maximum votes for Dylan Shield in the Bombers' first win of the year in front of 52,500 fans at the MCG on a Friday night. Tom Morris is back from the rooms with the injury report, with thanks to Arnold Thomas and Becker. Arnold Thomas and Becker, your personal injury law specialists.
There's lots of injuries to talk about, Beaver, and we're not sure how significant these all are, but let me go through them one by one. Connor McKenna, groin, came back on in the end but wasn't moving too well. In fact, he was in some discomfort. Sean McKernan, the same, but this time a hamstring. Dyson Heppel had his quad strapped from the second quarter onwards. We know again he played out the game, but that got strapped up in the second term. My suspicion, it was a corky. Aaron Francis, a hamstring. He went down to the rooms. He came back up again. He was getting worked on for most of the last quarter. And Devon Smith had a concussion test. He was cleared. He also had a corky as well. So that's all the Essendon players that had injuries throughout the game and came back on. Then Kobe Much, left hamstring in the first 5 minutes of the game. He didn't take any further part. Essendon, with 3 men on the bench for the entire game, still managed to kick 20 goals, 10 with 30 scoring shots. Melbourne, just the one, Tom McDonald, left ankle. He came back on and was okay. It was a really jubilant Essendon rooms. We saw Simon Madden down there. Sean Wellman was very happy. And Adrian Dodoro had the biggest smile in his face I've ever seen.
Herculean effort by the Bombers under duress. Injury report with thanks to Arnold Thomas and Becker. The Bombers by 18 points. A quick break and then we'll wrap up from the MCG.
The very best coverage of the 2019 Toyota AFL Premiership season throughout Australia. You're listening to 3AW Football.
Footy star Tim Membry is quick to kick a goal, but is he quick enough to say all the sports KO streams in 10 seconds?
Rugby league, rugby union, supercars, Formula 1, cricket, football, basketball, tennis, golf, American football, baseball, athletics, darts, skateboarding, hockey, rowing, softball, volleyball, UFC, lacrosse, wrestling, mountain biking, handball.
Ooh, 23 sports. Good, but not scary good. KO lets you instantly stream over 50 sports with a 14-day free trial. Then just $25 a month. Now that's scary good.
Boom, boom, boom. Everybody say KO. Oh, the Blind Factory. It's time once again for what I'm calling the Blind Factory Mega Yearly Autumn Sale, or MAYAS. That doesn't seem quite right, but it'll do for now. That's right, this autumn, why would you buy anywhere else but the Blind Factory Mega Yearly Autumn Sale? But hurry, call 1-3-BLINDS, because it won't be long before it's time to kiss MAYAS goodbye. Oh, wait, I see the problem now. I'm most terribly sorry.
Another quick success story about radio. A bakery made the tastiest sausage rolls. Anyone who tried them loved them.
Oh, scrummy.
But when they advertised, they just looked like every other. So they turned to radio, the medium Aussies trust most. So when real Aussies heard real people reacting to them, they believed the sausage rolls were as tasty, flaky, as they sounded, and tried them for themselves, which tripled sales, achieving a campaign ROI of 500%. And it was all thanks to radio. Alive with taste, alive with results. Visit radioalive.com.au.
The dream for many businesses is to go global. If you're looking to expand into international markets, here's your chance. You could win a Money Can't Buy workshop with me and a number of Australia's most prestigious global business leaders to help shape your international success strategy. In partnership with OFX, we'll unpack challenges and opportunities, discuss cross-border operations and provide a structured framework for global success.
To enter, visit the win page now at 3aw.com.au. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're building, renovating or just doing some tinkering around the home, tune into Weekend Breakfast with Darren James as he goes in the home for ENS. He'll bring you the lowdown on the latest products for in the home. Everything from ovens, cooktops, appliances to taps, basins, washers and dryers. Even the kitchen sink. Don't miss In the Home. Saturdays 10 till 11 during Weekend Breakfast with Darren James. Thanks to ENS for everything kitchen, bathroom and laundry on 3AW 693.
G'day, it's Barry Dubois. I've been talking to people who have sold their home with Purple Bricks.
We got a full service agency with all the marketing, all the contact, all the open homes. We saved $10,000.
It's not only the savings in commissions, it's the level of service.
We sold in 2 days for $200,000 more than our target.
Great agents, great results for a fair fixed fee, not massive commissions. No wonder more than 90% would sell with Purple Bricks again. Sell smarter and pay less with Purple Bricks.
George Wakefield here from Mattress Builders. Are you sleeping on something that looks and feels more like a hammock and less like that mattress you spent good money on not too long ago? We specialise in medium and firm back support mattresses, a lot of them designed to flip and turn for longevity. We're open 7 days at 339 Warrigal Road, Cheltenham, so come and see Mattress Builders and save your back and your money. mattressbuilders.com.au, mattresses made in Melbourne.
And we're coming up to the 11 o'clock news. Brad Hardy with Footy Nightline on the other side of the news. 3AW Footy for Maccas. Of course, it was Essendon tonight by 18 points. Quickly around the grounds for MeBank. The winners in the VFL were Richmond and Footscray. And in the NRL, the Warriors beat the Titans. Don't forget our big triple header tomorrow. Carlton v Sydney, followed by the Giants v the Tigers. And then the grand final rematch here at the G, Collingwood versus the West Coast Eagles. For McDonald's, 3AW is football.